Jeff, I found a fun bug.
Okay, show it to
It's
me.
the reverse of our other bug.
It doesn't do any aiming.
I mean, or it thinks it's aimed correctly. So I think maybe there's a bug in our normalize where it's normalizing straight down to straight up, and
Yep.
that's the problem.
Yep. Trigonometry.
Yeah, right?
We
Yeah, and
weren't as good
that's
as we thought.
it explains both cases, which is nice.
You're talking about the one where it rotates the wrong direction.
Because it's rotating to vertical instead of it's rotating up instead of down. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw the bug report that I filed in GitHub, but it turns out that math.sign of 0 is either positive 0 or negative 0. You know, floating point has a negative 0, right?
I'm aware. That's really unfortunate.
Um,
Uh,
so definitely when the offset between the 2 points,
okay. That makes sense.
that needs to be special cased in some way, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think so. Because really, if it's we want it to rotate to pi itself.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can add that.
How badly do you want to solve those bugs today? I could be down for bug fixing today, or I could be down to do new stuff or refactoring or whatever you want.
Yeah, let's see. We've got the turret rotation, the pathfinding not knowing about the walls, and the crash if I try to pop this in a wall, which is pretty weird.
That one makes sense because I think basically the search is never able to reach that point because we don't count it as a neighbor, right? So it just infinite loops.
That's correct. Yeah, it never. I think it also it doesn't have a case for like it's exhausted the map space, which would be maybe how it would decide I can't go there.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it does just loop on more stuff forever, which is annoying, but that's okay.
And the GitHub issues there are just the notes that I took down from last session. So clearly, the list of things that we could potentially work on today is not limited to these 4. Although I'm happy to work on any and everything.
No, I think it's nice to have the list. I'm kind of invested and curious about maybe thinking about making these dependent on a resource, like adding some collection. Or
that sounds really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we haven't quite. We've got our friendly turrets, and they're friendly, but they haven't quite done the thing yet.
Yeah, should we only allow one builder to be out of the tank at a time?
I feel pretty good about that too. Yeah.
Okay.
That it could certainly be an upgrade if you wanted to have like 20 of these.
Yes.
Oh, I collect a wall. Damn.
That's a good bug. That's a bug that really builds character.
True that. Ah, man, that's so cool.
What happened? Did it crash again?
No. The movers and I guess the pilot system stops when the game is.
Yeah, it must be. Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, I think the pilot must be in our system stop. Yeah, because you can't. Or the builder. You can't spawn more, but also it means it can't move anymore.
Yeah. Well,
by me.
The bullets still keep moving, right?
Yeah, that was like our attack system. The goal was that anything you fired would keep going, which I guess means you could win and then die, which is strange.
You can win and then die, can't you?
Yeah.
Because the damage roll system runs still, right?
Mm-hmm.
174.
Yep. Which, you know what? Totally okay.
Yeah.
So what? If we wanted to maybe keep track of one builder, I feel like there's maybe a little UI up here. Maybe we don't do UI, but it'd be nice if you could only have one. And if you can only place turrets if you'd collected a tree, a pickup, this generic blue resource we've made.
Yep. The classic Bolo thing is you have to have destroyed.
Oh, you need the core.
Yeah, it's a core. I don't know what term that they use in Bolo itself. I've called it the core, but it's just whatever the core of the turret. And then I think in Bolo it also costs you a little bit of wood to rebuild it as
That
well.
sounds right.
Okay.
Okay. So maybe this needs to drop something.
Yeah, the turret needs to drop something. That's something we could do. And then the builder should also be able to collect things, right?
Yep. Should the tank not be able to collect things? Maybe
That's
not.
a good question. I think maybe both can collect. Is that weird? We
No.
could do a collector on it.
In Bolo, the tank can't do anything, right? Besides move around and shoot.
The tank can. I actually think that the builder cannot collect cores. The builder can harvest trees, though.
Okay. Well, I realized that if we want the tank to pick something up, we're going to have to fix this bug.
Oh, yeah, that is true, because the pilot needs to be able to walk through that stuff.
Yeah, it has to enter the wall that is the turret. Okay.
Well, the thing is, we could put cores down and just place them in the map editor without... we don't have to have the dead turrets leave cores behind yet, right? That could be something else that we do.
That's true. Oops.
All of these things need to happen, and I'm largely indifferent as to the order of those things.
Great. Well, yeah. Okay. Let's turn this blue into a core, our nada pickup, basically.
The nada. Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. So let's look into our pickups. We've got nada, and I can't remember how our pickup script worked. Is it just the existence of a pickup script? Yeah, it's
like presents... a collidable, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's all it really does, and then its existence.
I think we gave the interface we gave it an update function so that it could maybe tell the game that the player has a thing. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that seems feasible. The other way that we could do this is not have logic in the pickup script at all and just make an enum of pickup types and then have the system take care of what happens.
I like that because the system is already taking care of it and just calling this update that we don't need.
Yes.
Great. Okay, cool. All right, so the pickup script is really a hitbox and nothing else.
Yeah.
Should we... I'm going to look at the NA class. What's going on over here? This feels a little silly. I get the sense that maybe we could get rid of the entire pickup script.
Just call it a pickup?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like... Maybe giving an optional AABB to these objects and pickup type. Pickup type could almost be team, but that's a little silly.
Yeah, we have lots of collision boxes. Right now, they happen to be identical to each other, but logically they are for different things, right?
It's true. What like our damageable we have hitboxes, and what has a hitbox? Hitbox, damageable, damager, and nada. So these are our.
The damager has like a harm box.
Yeah.
That's the term that they tend to call it. And then there's a hitbox, which is for defense, and then the collectible, which is for, entity to entity overlap.
Mm-hmm.
I guess technically, probably the pickup box, you could argue, is the same thing as the damageable box.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. If everything had a hitbox, or could have a hitbox, then I feel like damager, boolean, and damageable. I feel like that sort of opens up dropping the damager damageable dichotomy.
Mm-hmm.
You'd still maybe need some health information, and damage information.
Right. Yeah.
But the structs could be simpler structs, right?
I definitely see what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that. At a certain point, most games like separating the hitboxes and harm boxes because
Mm-hmm.
if you did melee, for example, um, you wouldn't want the hitbox and harm box to be the same
Yep.
because you'd hurt yourself when you hit something, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense to me. Um, so yeah, so even I would consider tracking both of those because yeah, I could see an entity that has both if it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah. I'm down
But
with it.
yeah, I like. I think we could maybe get rid of some damage or damageable stuff if we try. But let's start with this. I think this will uh, get us in that direction.
Yeah. Um, I
Hmm.
I don't hate the idea of having the harm box up front. Um,
Okay.
even
Yeah.
though it seems a little Yagni right now, right? Just because nobody has both at the moment. But when we do decide to invent both, it's going to be kind of painful to figure out which was which, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Right. You have to like look at an object and decide. Right. And like the damager system should be looking for objects with heart boxes.
yeah. And I don't know. Maybe at some point it'll get to the point where like this is actually a property on the current animation frame that is being rendered as well. Like if we did sprites, this would actually come from the animation. Um,
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
yeah, because if you think about like if you're making Street Fighter 2 or something, like the harm box actually moves relative to the control point of the player. You know, over time. Yeah,
That does make a lot of sense. That's cool.
yeah.
Um, okay, yeah. So then this actually should be easily updatable, and maybe this is the right spot for it. Yeah. Okay.
I think this is totally fine, and like we can kind of figure out like, and they are
Cool.
components. Like I think the hitbox is a component; it just has no logic on it whatsoever. I think both the hitbox and harmbox we can think of as components, even though they don't
Okay.
have a class.
Cool. I like that. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna bring that down here. Um,
This is great.
get
It's
rid
a
of this
nice
pickup
little
strip.
refactor.
Yeah, it feels like the right way to do this. Pickup type. Where? Let's see. Component interfaces. Where does team come from? Team is just in teams. Just make a pickup enum.
I think it's just an enum in the pickup component. Do we don't even have a pickup component, don't we?
It's
We don't.
nothing.
Okay. Um,
I
yeah.
was thinking that you
If
determine a
you
pickup by looking for
that's
a
totally
pickup
fine.
type.
Yep. Yep. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Okay, then I think a new file that is where's new file? Why is there no new file? A new file that is pickup.ts that's just the enum is a nice match for team.
Sure.
Export enum pickup type, and let's see, we've got core.
Awesome.
That is awesome. So close. You notice how half of the ones you were doing last stream worked and half of them didn't? It drove me crazy.
I think they work if they don't have the same.
Wait a
It's
minute.
weird because it's not like it's relative to the entire project, right? Because they're all under source, right? It's like,
Oh, I think I figured it out.
yeah, what is it?
It's whether or not it's a TypeScript or an actual class. Is that what's going on here? Yeah, I think so. Like,
Sorry.
importing an interface gives us like importing something that is TypeScript only gives us a dot import, and importing like a JavaScript class that it can detect. No, here's my theory. That's a class. Damn.
It's got to be like how many. Like it's gonna like traverse up the directory structure and then back down another path, right? And I wonder if it's like how long it is, how far it has to go back down.
And if it has to go, if it goes all the way to the top, then it's like, cool, I gotcha. It's damn module resolution. Okay, so
What I do think is that everything inside entities that references other things inside entities usually gives you the relative import path.
yeah,
It's
that does seem to be the case.
but because like what significance does that have? Like why not? Because you have the same grandparent. Like I don't really get it.
It's inexplicable. Yeah. Pick up type dot core.
Because I think if you import from a system file, which is in a different directory, and you get an entity, it's not going to do the relative path.
So weird.
Yeah.
So weird. Oh well. I want it to happen, but it's not going to happen. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I like this. The hitbox feels very. That makes a lot of sense to me. I guess I'm actually not going to rename it Nada for now because there's like so many things that go into renaming a map entity at the moment.
Yeah.
It's strangely annoying.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if we have a pickup type. Then we get the hitbox dot abb. Is that right?
Yep.
What is it grumpy about? Oh.
ABB needs the orientation.
That is a transform. Can you override methods and can I do a
No, you
ABB?
can't.
Really?
I think I would just pass in both things of the transform. It's okay. It's not ultimately
I will.
Typing.
I know. It's just it just would have been such a nice interface.
Yeah.
Orientation. But you're correct. It's not that much. Okay. Well, that's not it. Let's make sure everything's running. I deleted some files. Okay, cool. So let's see. If the entities have a pickup type, let's make sure we ever see any entities ever. Which I guess we don't, because this would have called it, huh?
Is the constructor for not a pickup setting that value? I think we did that, right?
I thought I did, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
And we're calling this somewhere. I mean, it's our only pickup, so we must be.
Yep.
That is interesting. All right, let's see. Have we changed anything? We've got the player ABB. We've got the entities.
Where's the pickup system getting called from?
Great question.
Okay.
Yeah, right after. That seems fine.
Yeah, and can you follow that? I just want to make sure that's getting imported correctly. Yeah, that looks good. Yep.
Okay. I'm no longer updating the thing that doesn't exist.
We're not seeing anything console.log, huh?
No, this should be logging like 4 items
per frame.
Per frame, yeah.
Can you put that at the top level update, like outside of the for loop?
Sure. Well, I can log that we're calling it, yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're not crazy.
Console.log pickup type?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
JavaScript.
0 is... So what do we want to do here?
JavaScript.
Yeah.
Every time, man. All right.
I hate this because it's like, if it's null, that doesn't satisfy that, right?
True, but it can't. TypeScript won't let us set this to null at least.
Yeah.
Because question mark is or undefined. Yeah. But otherwise.
Oh, is that really the case? The question mark
Yeah.
is. Oh, that's nice. Okay,
So it's always
I'm
undefined, which
totally
is
satisfied.
yeah, yeah. It's not nullable, which is important. If we want it to be nullable, it's a different story.
That actually alleviates my concern for a lot of what I was worried about when I made the option class. So
Oh, great.
I might go through and get rid of option. It's a little bit
Okay.
too much. Yeah.
Okay. I like parts of it though. I don't know.
Yeah. It looks cool. Like the
Hmm.
map function in particular, it looks cool.
Maybe it'd just be nice to have like a safe unwrap function that we can just call everywhere because that's all we really need.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got pickups. What's going on? Oh, that's not the UI I want. Where does our UI get rendered? Is it in the game layer?
Yeah, we just have a health bar system.
Ah, great. Everything's a system. I should have guessed it. That's great. I'm actually. How would you feel about making a starting to organize our systems a little bit?
Yeah, let's call it HUD.
HUD. Oh, of course. That's a much better name. Can I? If I move this, it's not going to update everything.
Let's try. Well, I mean,
Ah,
tuple doesn't
ah,
handle it.
yes.
VS Code handles it.
Amazing. All right. I've been using so much Ruby in VS Code, I forgot how much VS Code actually did.
Oh man, have you
It's
thought
it's
about doing sorbet?
I have, yeah. I might be pitching it to my team.
I really want to hear the blow by blow of that because sorbet sounds at once like super exciting because you can do all the kinds of you can probably do language server stuff at that point, right?
I think so.
Ruby already
You'll
must have language server, right?
It does, but like it's Ruby. You can
Can't
only
do anything
like
with it.
guess so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You'll be the first to hear about it. The first thing that my next project is going to be generating like multi framework CSS from a single file. So I'm going to try to make a CSS that turns into React Native components, React, a Rails style sheet, and Swift views.
Well,
So after I do that, I'll try Sorbet.
this is all coming from a CSS file.
Yeah, we have like a design system, and like no one wants to implement it more than once, which is very reasonable. We can transpile anything into anything these days.
That's incredible.
I haven't written it yet. I don't know.
Well, semantically, does CSS translate into something like Swift UI?
Yeah, almost exactly.
Like even the floats, and the absolute and relative positioning and that stuff.
You maybe have to deal with a couple specifics, but you can get flexbox, which is really nice. So I could define a
What?
flexbox button layout because Swift UI
No way.
and recent Swift actually added HStack and VStack, which is just flex direction row and column, and then like gets you most of the way.
And did they intentionally design that so that you could make you could basically just define an HTML style CSS style sheet and then
I think so.
return it directly?
I think they came up with. I mean, it showed up when they started having like 5 sizes of iPhones.
Yeah.
And I think they were just like, well, we don't want you to do 5 pixel layouts because that'll be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure how much the desire was to hew close to HTML because everything else works pretty differently. But you can kind of approximate it.
I felt like a lot of like old school UI programming was about like stretchable components, right? Like I want you, I'm going to set constraints on these two things, and I want you to figure out the rest of it, like intelligent layout stuff.
It was springs and struts.
Oh, okay.
Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, this bullshit. I really want to find like the old UI for it. Nope.
Is it interface builder?
Oh, probably so. That at least will have a good interface. Hello. Interface builder. Yeah.
Yeah.
This.
Yep. Exactly.
I spent a lot of time clicking those buttons.
I can only imagine. Every time I want to do I want to get better at front end, I realize I don't. because it's a lot of this stuff.
You don't. I mean, it's gotten better. I saw someone sent me this video today that was like the Chrome team put out 10 a video is like 10 tricks. Here's one line of CSS that will do 10 different layouts for you. And they did like header, footer, flexible center. I was like, oh my god. We've solved like things I spent weeks on in the past.
Yeah.
So it's better.
And so before we depart the UI layout topic altogether, are you like a Flexbox stan, or have you gone to Grid? Like, what is your opinion about those things?
Oh man, I was just learning about Grid. I think I might be a Grid stan now.
Okay, yeah.
Flexbox is cool, but Grid is really good. I think you need both.
Okay.
But my next layout's going to be a Grid layout, I think. I'm going to try.
Yeah. When I read the Flexbox docs, I'm like, okay, I kind of have to do a little bit of math in my head to figure out like what's going on here. And Grid actually seemed like it was like way easier to grok. It's a little bit more literal, right?
Much. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Look, Flexbox is so much better. I think I've got like Flexbox Stockholm syndrome from just how terrible everything was before.
Yeah.
All right. So before we add some things, what we want is before we add a UI, we want like player dot add to inventory e dot pickup type.
Oh,
like that.
Yeah,
we got to count it somewhere.
Yeah. So there's going to be an inventory component then.
I think there is now an inventory component on the player. Yeah. Cool. Oh well, I mean, gosh, you know what inventory is a pickup type array.
It is indeed.
That actually is pretty easy to solve.
Yeah, and that should probably be a question mark, right? Not everybody has.
I mean,
inventory.
I guess not. Yeah. That's just a waste of memory.
Ish.
Hey, we make and break a lot of entities. So
I think it's useful to say that like the entity doesn't have an inventory versus their backpack is empty. That's a meaningful difference.
That's a really great point. Yeah. Nope, I totally agree. Okay. So really, it's player.inventory shovel pickup type?
Dot push.
Man.
Yeah, we can't have nice things, all right?
Man. All right. Cool. Alrighty.
And then we want like an inventory UI or HUD.
Yep.
This is going to be great.
I like this a lot. Yeah. Inventory.ts. Let's get it in the game so the system renders it.
If you want, player health bar could be more than just the health bar. You can call it the HUD. We just make it one giant function.
I was thinking that this does enough.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool too. Yeah. I'm down with that as well.
Yeah. But I hear you.
It's fine. The only difference is that we just have we have systems.inventory this. Yep.
Yeah. Inventory. Oh, and I guess that actually needs to export some stuff.
It's weird because is this the inventory system or is this the inventory indicator system? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Player health bar is pretty clear what it is. Inventory, on the other hand, is a little bit ambiguous.
That's fair. I guess I was thinking because its name's based into HUD, but yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
I agree with that. Inventory display backpack.
That I think inventory display is fine. Yeah.
Cool. Display.
Or inventory view, something like that. View is like super enterprise UI design, right? Everything's a view.
Oh yeah, inventory view factory display.
Yeah.
I haven't written a factory yet. I'm extremely happy about it. No one's made me do Java, in
Yeah.
all my years in computer science and programming and anything else.
Eventually, what's going to happen is the systems are going to become hierarchical, where we're going to have a like we're going to have a game HUD system that's going to then update the player health bar and the inventory thing, and then we're going to have like a pause overlay system.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
That's eventually what's going to end up happening, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and like these windscreens could be that way too. I feel like there's enough stuff to chunk out that HUD definitely HUD overlay. I don't.
There's a framework, a UI framework hidden in the grains of sand here.
Yeah. I'm looking for like a better collection for some of this stuff, but I don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
That's really the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we want const player equals g dot player.
This game has been a really good exercise, at least for me, in like not prematurely abstracting, despite the fact that I have been guilty of doing plenty of premature abstracting in this game already. But like it's been a good exercise in like not spending too much time building the framework.
It's been extremely helpful.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. Get that. You're happy to import the correct way.
Yeah. And now that you have me thinking about abstractions, I'm actually trying to wonder what the right abstraction is, so that like if we wanted to render the same, if the HUD icon looks like the icon as it appears in the playfield, or like as the entity that as it appears in the playfield, like what is the right way to handle that? Right? You don't stick the entity in the HUD. That doesn't make any sense, right? You're not simulating the entity, but yeah, we need models. Yeah, I think that was it, right? Like, I think the whole model thing also maybe leads into like how we would want to do animation if it existed, and how we handle like the multi-path entities like the turret and the player, as well. And it's a little related to the question of how we render in the map editor as well, right? Because we were talking about that last time.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Actually, this is a nice. This actually pulls us nicely away from that, because this still depends on. This actually very much depends on the model. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna copy this, but I'm not.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll just duplicate.
I'm not gonna be happy about it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like model is quite the right abstraction for some reason, or like this particular chunk is not.
Yeah.
I think models in general will serve us very well. Okay, cool.
The path and fill style tuple, like those two things.
Yeah. They
feel kind of bound to each other, but maybe each thing is like an array of those things, or
yeah.
And then like maybe they draw Painter's algorithm, like the first ones are just drawn first.
I'm gonna start us off with this as a and we'll just see how that works. Gosh, even more would be a function you apply to get that.
Yeah, but then you can't reason about the data if you wanted to like apply transforms or something like that, right?
Yep.
But I know what you're saying, because I think some of these things are going to be parameterized, right? Like the tank needs to have this notion that you've rotated the turret, right? And like where do we encode that type of functionality?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we'll get there. Let's find where's Nada go? So Nada is now actually going to be a pickup models pickup type core. Guess you might want
and then it doesn't need the profile anymore.
In fact,
it's dot path, or what is it?
Can I just get away with renderables? Wait, how do we get multiple renderables? Done that already.
For one entity, the renderable is a script. It's an interface that returns. You just have a get renderables function.
Oh, Great. Sorry.
No problem.
That makes sense. I forgot that we couldn't just pass an array back to it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that takes the path and set. Okay, fine. It's probably a little unhappy about. Oh, because this is 0.
Yeah, because we made it a vector.
Yeah. All right. This is annoying, but I think it makes things happier. Model, we don't care. You can explicitly have that type if you want.
I don't think yeah. I think that type is what the interface requires. So I think it's fine that that's there. If we wanted to alias that type to something, we could. Ideally, we just get rid of it, right?
Fair. Yeah. That's okay. Okay, cool. So let's see. So that's rendering that. Then here, let's see. So we need we need an initial position. I was trying to orient this sort of next to the health bar.
Oh, yeah.
Which is 15. Oh yeah, there's let's see. What is the width on this? Oh, just 15. Okay. Pause dimensions. Gotcha. So let's see. So the pause will be 50. And really this is const var pause was 50 because we'll increment that as we loop. And what was our y? Also 15? Yeah. This is not a pause. This is a x.
Yep. It's starting to look like game code. I've written this type of thing thousands of times.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
We're doing it. Cool. Primitive.path. What does primitive.path take?
Primitive.path takes, a path, a fill style, and a transform.
Great. Okay, so let's see.
And the transform is likely to be the identity matrix translated by the XY position.
Mm-hmm. So for this,
are the icons going to go downwards or left or right?
I was thinking down. I was thinking left to right because I made X variable, but actually they probably should go down, huh? To match the health bar.
It'd be constant X, let Y, right?
Yeah, I like that better. I think that's a great call. So let's see. So const model is pickup models pickup 0.
Player.unwrap.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. It's player exclamation point doesn't do anything, so it's an option. So line 6, you can get rid of the X. You can get rid of the exclamation point.
Sorry, for here?
Line 6.
Oh, yeah, great.
But I think that actually speaks to, again, we should get rid of the option. I don't think
we
it's
should get rid of the option.
Yeah.
Great. So let's see. This takes a path, which is model.path, fill style, which is model.fill style, and a transform. Is it? It's not. Oh, it is. Okay. Which is, let's see, mat2d, mat2. All of that. Let's see. You think it is scaled?
Translate, I believe it is.
Yeah. What is translate? Oh, by vector. Great. Vector2.from values x, y.
I think we're going to have to do mat2d.create as the first argument. Same like vectors.
Yep. My old friend returns. Really? You need that? Fine.
Brutal.
You win this round. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
Hey, no, look at that.
I love it.
Did it
Let's see.
not
So
give you multiple though?
no, because we
Oh,
don't
because we're not
increment.
we're not incrementing anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we
So
do call
then.
you would let? Does
Oh yeah.
does the linter not care? That's interesting.
Y plus equals 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there? It doesn't even. It just turns it into a let. Hello. That's cool.
Yeah.
So it's orienting around the center, which is fine. But this should maybe be tile size over 2. Sick. Should be tile size. Wow. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Well. Yeah.
I'm gonna give this a little.
Nice.
All right. Wow, I love it. Okay, cool. That was easier than I thought. Every time this comes up easier than I thought, I'm just like, the systems are working.
There's not a whole lot of system right now. I think it's just that's the point. It's pretty literal right now, which is great.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm happy. True. Okay, so let's see. So we want to go back to our builder. And we're only going to let you spawn a builder if you've got a core.
I think you can spawn a builder whenever. That'd be fine. You just can't build anything.
Okay.
So this actually gets kind of subtle, right? Gameplay wise, does the builder have the thing on him when he's running around, or do you just lose it as soon as the builder? That's probably the most game-like thing, is that the builder technically isn't carrying the core, but you lose the core as soon as the builder builds it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So like once it goes out into the world, subtract 1 core.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I guess maybe there's a feature where you would click on, like, we've only got right click, but if it was a tree, do I put down a turret, or am I? We probably need like a build menu of like chop, wall, turret, something else. So
I think Bolo rules is I don't think you can place a. No, there is actually a menu, right? Bolo you can choose.
there's a menu, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it's like if you have the turret selected and you right click a tree, it actually doesn't do anything.
Should you be able to put turrets in a forest if forests also have visibility and kinds of things?
That's a good question. Cut the range in half. We've got parameters to work with there.
Yeah. Well, I think what happens if you shoot inside of a forest, like you immediately start destroying trees, right? The first tree that you hit, like it stops
That
your
makes
bullet.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. So really, it's right here.
No. Well,
yeah.
Do we want to allow? This is actually creating the builder. Do we want to let the builder go out even if there's no turret, or?
I was kind of thinking if you don't have anything to place, you can't even send them out right now.
Okay.
Until we have some other reason to send them out. Yeah. But fair. I do like seeing our little guys run around.
Yeah, I think you should be able to click the wrong button and kill them by accident, right? Like that would be funny.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's do it on turret placement then. Well,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, so
check the inventory here, right?
Yeah, player. Oops. Do we not have a player at all? We don't.
It is unwrap. Sorry.
Man. Okay, yeah, we can delete that. Yep. Dot includes pickup type dot core. Do all that. So let's see. If I run this right now, he just goes out and comes back. Great. And if I have one, he'll go and make infinite because we're not subtracting. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So g.player.
I mean, if you want to get fancy, you could even cache the inventory, right?
I was gonna see sort of how, yeah. Yep, I agree. Inventory. That's not a bang. That's actually called inventory. So let's see. What do we have in JavaScript for this?
Or like remove the first instance of a particular value. Is that essentially what you're doing?
Yep, exactly.
I don't actually know of such a function.
If I was gonna guess, well, let's see. We've got filter.
You could do index of and then remove that index.
Right. So, but it's an array, and it won't like. Do we need to collapse it too?
Yeah, I mean we do. Is it splice?
That's right. Let's see. Yeah. I think it's splice.
The splice method changes the contents of an array by removing or replacing existing elements.
Great. So yes, we have a start and a delete count.
So it's just like it's the index of and then 1. It looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is a surprisingly complex function to think about.
Dude, I bet.
I'm not sure if I like that UI. I don't know.
No, I bet Lodash just has this. Okay, all guys going out.
Oh, cool. Sweet. And you won.
And I won. So this just sends them all out. Okay, cool. Wow. Hey, I love it. Oh, here's a funny one though.
It's fine.
Yeah, I agree.
They're being portaled in Protoss style.
Ooh, yeah, into it. Yeah, drop turrets. Okay, cool. Sick. That was also delightful. Okay, so maybe then the next step is it'd be really great if these drop to pick up.
Yep.
And then we're gonna have to solve this problem. Which it's not going to be that bad. It just means that the Pathfinder needs to look at something other than the map, and that was kind of a hack.
And yeah, I also think the Pathfinder probably should update every frame on the way out, the same way that it updates on every frame on the way back
in. Okay, that's a good point.
That is actually one of the GitHub issues I filed.
Oh, great. This one?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't specifically read it as that, but you couldn't really blow a hole for your Pathfinder live. But I think there's maybe a distinction of like it could calculate that path once, and things wouldn't necessarily update. But that's not the worst. I guess I see two problems, but I bet we can do both. Yeah. We've already got the update function. I just think it's expensive. It scares me that I think it's expensive. That's why I don't want to do it every frame, but it's fine.
If we don't, yeah, I mean, it is expensive. It is true. There are things we can do to cache all of this stuff. Right?
Fair.
Like the optimizations are really hairy that come to mind. But I mean, one of the things is we can have a system that's like the path, like, I mean lowercase s system, not like ECS system. Mm-hmm. Some kind of system that like is the Pathfinder brain that like knows which paths to recalculate because stuff got changed or something like that. You know,
that'd be cool. Yeah. Someday. All right. Well, let's see. So we've got all this. Maybe this is our damageable. We need a thing. Does that make sense? We need to be able to.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. have some sort of notion of what's killing what.
Yep.
Nope. Index e dot drop type equals pickup type dot core. This actually makes some sense to me too, because we can think about trees as a damageable or something, or not as damageable, but they have a drop type, so we can get like wood out of them pretty easily. So I feel good about that. So let's see. So in the turret system,
trees might be a little bit different though, because when you kill a tree, it's gone, and it's not like the builder isn't like killing the tree and then picking up the pickup after that. It is like removing the tree from existence and then adding the tree to your inventory.
That's true, but since the inventory is like a list of pickups,
right,
wood might have to be. I don't know. It's or our system will have to get a little funkier.
Yeah, the builder system would just know that like you're arriving at a tree, and it would just like you don't have to intermediate that with another component type or anything like that. It would just know what to do.
Cool. I like it. Okay, so we need to. We need another map. Export const pickup constructors, because we need to call make not a pickup. Oops. Equals. Yeah. Because otherwise we will just never know how to get to that.
Pickup factory. That's basically we're beating around the bush here, Dom.
I just made a factory. Yeah, okay. Is that not what we export? Nope, if you spell it wrong.
In tights.
If only TypeScript could fix my in-tight problems too.
Eventually, there's a lot of ink spilled about GPT-3 this last week.
Okay, are you happy? I named it. It's the pickup factory. We're doing it.
Am I happy? I don't know.
We don't actually need to name that function at all, do we? And this takes path. That is nothing. And fill style. That is nothing. Great.
And then we have to add it to the entity manager. We have to register it.
Yep. Entities.register core. I like the dichotomy of registering and destroying at the same time. And core.transform actually equals. Do we have the current entity? We do. E.transform dot like a vec2.copy.
Clone. We can clone.
Yeah, clone. And this is actually only position because E.transform dot.
Nice.
It's fine.
I love it when I see a close square bracket open parenthesis. It's always so funky.
Feels good, right?
That's one way of saying that.
I did this totally wrong though. So actually, this is interesting. It's trying to spawn a core. Right now, it's just trying to spawn a core and destroy anything.
Oh, nice.
Including this wall, but the game crashes.
We need to look at the drop type, right?
Well, we do, but I actually specified it here. So,
well, we made it a component of the entity, right? The drop type.
I'm just curious why it's crashing. Not a function.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, like it should have worked. You're a function. Don't lie. Pickup constructors is an array of object with 0 to functions.
What is pickup type dot core? That enum is just an int enum, right?
It should be the number 0, yeah.
Looks pretty good.
Oh, did I need to name this?
No.
No, it's not named. No.
What is it failing on? It's crashing, right?
Yeah, it's crashing hard. Oops. Come back, console. Pickup constructors, pickup type core is not a function. Is this a 0 problem? It better not be a 0 problem. But it is undefined. Fascinating. Oh, it's not what I expected at all.
So I actually look, if you look at your, so you're trying to make an object, but is line 10, is that casting pickup type core to a string? Like if we just console.log pickup constructor, what does that actually look like?
Oh, it's a string. Oh, I think you're extremely right. Okay, wait. Can we do this?
Yeah, that's fine.
That probably solves all our problems.
Yeah.
It did not.
Weird.
Because I actually feel a lot better about that.
Pickup type. Oh, that's just an enum. So it should have been fine. Should have been fine. Can we console.log pickup constructors? Just that without the array access.
Absolutely. Should be a property access. Core is undefined. All right. So make not a pickup is undefined.
That's weird. Is this a parcel problem?
Oh, yeah, good question. Let's find out. I guess the other question is this a extremely circular reference? And the answer is yes.
A circular reference?
Well, because nada imports this, and this imports nada.
That has not been a problem for us so far.
What is new
about this?
I think this might be the most circular one. All right. Well, let me see. So let's do this. Let's do that. Console.log in pickup.ts, and then console.log in nada.ts.
Yeah, you might be right.
Because in pickup.ts, this is undefined. Because
what's different is that line 11 is actual execution of code, right? It's not a function that you've deferred.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. That's easy. Yeah, that feels silly. Let's see. Okay. How about...
Does pickup constructor just move to a well, you need it, right? What does nada look like?
I got an idea. Let's register it. And it's probably just not happy because the type is extremely
ambiguous.
Yeah.
So this one's tricky. I think it's like key.
It's key pickup type.
It'll complain about that. I think it's key in pickup type, maybe. We'll see. Just finish typing it.
Yeah. Key in. Cool.
And then it's not any. It is a function, right?
Oh and it's upset that it's not extremely defined immediately. Okay.
Oh, because you have to have every single key in there.
That's what key in means, yeah.
So, can you go back to nada?
Yeah.
Why is nada circular? What makes it circular?
Oh, so it wasn't quite circular. Here, let me pull it back.
Yeah.
It's that the first thing we do.
Oh, I see. It's just evaluating that before.
Right. We evaluate this file.
Yes.
And in the process, it hasn't been defined yet. Which is interesting. That's okay. Like this.
That's just. What if we just put it in a different file?
Okay.
Yeah. Pickups. Construct.
And we could. I mean, maybe the silliest place would be right here.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's not silly at all, actually. It makes a lot of sense.
Okay. It's interesting because the pickup.
I think it. You're right.
It's not going to use this.
Confusing. Maybe it should be in its own file.
Yeah. Okay. Gosh, this is one that just feels bad everywhere you put it. No, I know what we want. We just wanted the next type. How have we been? Oh, systems had the index that I liked. Okay. Actually, that's probably fine.
Because neither of those two references pickup instructors, right?
Correct.
Only the drop system, the damage system worries about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Entities.
And tights.
Damn it.
Twice.
Wow, twice. You think I know how to type.
It's not you.
It's absolutely VS Code. 100%. Okay, let's lose this. And let's re-import that.
And it just works, yeah.
Yeah, so now there's turkeys hiding in the walls. Classic. Yes. Absolutely classic. Okay, so let's see. If e dot pickup type, just all that.
Drop type?
Drop type, thank you. Nothing. Something.
Nice. Yep.
Cool. So now, if I want to get me a turret, I gotta go make one. Oh, dude.
Dude, this is an actual video game now.
Isn't that weird?
We just need to add a skill tree and a leveling system. And
I can rescue my turret.
Yeah.
Oh no, I clicked in a wall. Cool. Oh wow. Perfection.
Mutually assured destruction. I love it.
Neat. Okay. This is cool.
Look how much we've gotten done. We've got like a new HUD element. We can collect stuff in inventory, drop stuff.
I'm actually pretty impressed.
Yeah.
That's a good day's work right there.
Yeah. Can we make a thing that yells at you that you have to construct more pylons?
I know. And we could. All right. I desperately want to fix the crash in the Pathfinder.
Okay, let's do it.
I feel like I've done enough to justify that.
So as I was typing out the description of the problem,
yeah,
it became apparent to me that the solution is very subtle.
Okay.
So we need a heuristic of what to actually have happen if you right-click on something, and like, do you not send the builder out at all if he can't walk to it, or do you make best effort?
Right. You like check surrounding tiles and pick one.
And what if those are wall 2, right? At a certain point, at a certain point, like it's gonna look funky, right?
Yeah, well, and we haven't. I did it again. Uh, there's a third case, which is the path is unreachable.
Yes, that is absolutely right.
Yeah, which we just haven't accounted for. But if this were our other step, like if I tried to path in here and there wasn't, what is it? Does it just walk in circles? No, it
Yeah,
absolutely
I think the path will just flood fill the entire map, right?
yeah, and then fail, and then
Yeah.
fail. Okay. Oh, actually, God, we haven't been turning on debug for this at all. Ah, no,
It
doesn't even make it
crashes
that
before
far.
it can even generate the candidate set, right?
Okay.
So, like I said, kind of a tricky problem, right?
Mm-hmm. I agree. Okay, well, let's see. So we've got. Oh, go away, warnings. How can we handle this sucker? We know where we're going. Oh no, sorry. We have our two, and we are. Wait, why does it crash immediately?
It crashes because if you go down,
Yeah,
and wherever we do the wall check,
we only do that on the neighbors though.
yeah, so you're never going to return the neighbor that's the destination, right?
Ah, right. Okay, so
Yeah,
it gets stuck in this loop before it can even hand us a path to render back. I see.
exactly.
I thought it was building something more progressively than that, but okay.
Yeah.
Great. Then let's think about. Let's just chunk some stuff in here. But we've got target tile, and this is back to pause 2. Target tile pause, and then we need to get an entity at that. Maybe entity, and this will be. Where's
I
our
do
map?
wonder
Yeah.
if the right way to handle this is just to have a maximum path size, and if the number of steps in a path just if you're like if you're like iterating through this thing and your current search size is beyond a certain length, we just quit. We just say, you know what, like you're not going to find a path, so we're not going
That's
to even
really
try.
interesting. We could do that with score.
Score, yeah, because score is like the number of steps. And in fact, that actually might be a better variable name. Is just steps.
Steps. Yeah, I like that.
It's the path distance, right? It's the path length in pixels.
Right,
Or
because
tiles,
you
right? It's path length in tiles.
correct, yeah. And the diagonal makes it a little funky, but it's still. If we said score max 30, I'd still feel like it was
That's fine. Yeah.
good enough. Yeah. Okay, so actually, cool.
And where it falls apart is if we have a really complex maze that took a long time for it. But like we're not trying to solve mazes, right?
Yeah, I think maybe the place that it doesn't make it is if it can't get to a path of 30, if we're trapped in a maze somehow. If you like built a wall, if you built yourself into a maze wall or into a small box and you couldn't actually find an unknown neighbor to get
Yeah,
to
you could
30,
build
this
a maze, right? Well, let's just make the search length like really high. You know?
yeah. Well, I think once you've found nodes, we stop adding scores, so it would still infinite loop if you couldn't search, if you couldn't find a bad path long enough. Like if I shot this out, oops, oh, is it crashed? It's crashed. If I shot out a corner of the wall and built a new wall, if I could build walls.
You can build walls by putting turrets down, right?
Oh my god, I can. You're right. That's so cool. I forgot about that. Hang on, let me get some turrets. I'm gonna crash it again, but in the other way. Wow, holy shit, dude! There's actually like we can play the game and do stuff to it. Oh, I already crashed it. Fascinating.
Yeah, because again, we're using the map data, right? Not the
Of course.
yeah.
Oh, wait. In that case, I have an idea. Get out of here. Yeah, okay, so clicking out of here is failing for the other reason. Okay, whatever. I still think max score is good because we can't. Yeah. Huh. So let's see. What am I having here? Return, continue. What am I at? For each. Is return the right thing to be doing here?
In a for each, it is.
It is. Yes. Not a for in. Thank you.
Weirdly, Ruby kind of got this right when they added next and return. Mm-hmm. It's very counterintuitive when you first start using it, because like return will jump you out of not the block, but out of the current function context, like lexically, which is very confusing, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of good. I don't think any other languages copied that, right? Like lots of languages have copied Ruby's like pipe syntax for closures, but I don't think either Swift or Rust, for example, have like copied the kind of like, I want to jump out of where this closure was lexically defined, not like return from the immediate closure, right?
Yeah, interesting. This still don't work.
What were you hoping to do?
I was hoping that it would continue to search, but it's like the maze problem I described to you, but the small version of it, where it's basically searched all these paths and found nothing shorter, so it keeps like trying to.
Oh, right. Well, does the Pathfinder even have the capability of returning something that is like not an answer? Like, can we report failure to find a path?
That's a good question. I mean, I think while we do, if there's nothing left to visit, we're supposed to return this. I don't know what this does. Let's maybe. Does the game break? Okay, the game breaks if you hit this. Maybe that's the problem.
Okay, like the Pathfinder returns an empty path. I'm not sure how much I love that, because empty path to me means that like you're pathfinding to where you're currently at. Whereas what we want to say is that like there is no path, which is different, right?
Yeah,
so
like
return null is probably the better thing.
I would like null, yeah. I think that makes sense.
And is that or null? Yeah.
Yep. Can't
or undefined. I don't know, like, what's the right thing to use in JavaScript, because we have both of those fucking things, right? Like, there's probably null because we are actually returning something, you know.
That's kind of my rule, is that like I want to return null as a meaningful thing, and undefined is the absence of me doing anything.
Yes.
And I think that's why it exists, but also it's dumb.
It's dumb. You should never construct undefined. It doesn't make any sense, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's see. Path. Let's see. Or u.builder.path.
That should probably be first. Yeah.
Yep. Canary property 0 of null still. Oh, does builder? I'll fix that in a second. Oh, well, that should be triple probably.
Maybe we should never even be able to get to line 82 if the path is null, right?
Okay.
Like, if we discover that the path is null, well, where do we call discover? We call it multiple places, right?
We do, and in fact, let's see. So we because we're not returning to the host here. That's why I thought this was kind of the right case, because it's just like.
Well, it'll matter no matter what happens, right? Now that discover can return failure, we're going to have to basically handle null in all of those situations. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I actually do think it makes sense for the builder to have a non-null path. We just shouldn't ever assign it if
Okay.
we're null. Although I don't know, on the return, when you're returning back to the thing, you can't. I think we probably want the builder to start running back to the tank as soon as a path is available, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it just like destructs after 5 seconds or something like that of not having a path. Like if the builder gets trapped, that's probably mechanically an interesting thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Or the player is unreachable.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. I realize I was working on the wrong discover though, because this is the first one.
Yeah, and so here we'd say if path is null, then don't even spawn the builder, right?
Yep. Yep. I think that's great.
We're not just return, yeah.
Wait, we'll be returning from the whole it's continued to break out of the if, right?
Well, we're not looping right now, so continue is not going to do anything.
Oh,
We return.
How do you get out? Well, we have more systems to work with. We don't want to. We're in this if statement. We don't want to.
Then we say if path not equals
path,
null,
yeah.
then the rest of the stuff, right?
If path.
Yeah.
Backwards brain fart. Okay, thank goodness. I'm right clicking really hard. I know you can't hear it, but
And you crash the game. Good job.
no. The game runs.
Okay.
Sorry, the game continues.
Okay, cool. Well, at least we don't have that crash, right? At least we're not killing ourselves over that now.
I feel much better about that.
Yeah.
I think maybe one interesting question is okay, cool. Yeah, this is also unpathable.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is probably good. So let's see. So that's nice. That actually simplifies that. And did I keep the max length in there? I did. What did I? Oh, I returned null extremely early. Okay, so hang on. All I did was make it support null. Oh, cool. It actually takes a really long time. Hey, there we go. So here's what happens. It's great.
What is max length right now?
I thought I set it. 30.
That's not that big. It's just maybe it is kind of. I guess it's quadratic, right? The complexity of that.
Yeah, it's a complete search of. So really, it's just like the builder's got a range, and that's okay. Yeah, whatever. I kind of like that. So it means actually I can't build out here, which is interesting.
Yeah, maybe it was. Maybe we just show a little HUD warning that says like too far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some optimization some days that actually like we could detect that this is just physically too far for the builder to run instead of searching the whole space.
Yeah.
Actually, almost tempted to do now, but yeah. I don't mind him having a range. It's basically the screen size, right? If we were to, it's much smaller than the screen size actually. Let's see. But it also means the builder is not like magic, so I'm unbothered by that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? What, does it feel okay to you?
Yeah, I think it's okay. I'm still trying to process exactly how to deal with the situation. This is interesting. I haven't thought about this at any degree of depth at all. It is a very interesting problem, though.
It is. I like this. I like this at least to get us out of the crash.
Yep.
But I think.
I mean, there's really no other way you will know besides the path length being long. The whole point of the search is that you don't know, right? You don't know if there's a path until you've looped a certain number of times or you tried hard enough. There are some quasi heuristics that you could use, like if all the neighbors of the destination tile have been eliminated from the list, then you know that you can't reach it. You should terminate early.
Ah,
But
okay.
how many times? But the thing is, the question is like, how deep do you go? Because then there's the ring outside of those tiles, there's the ring outside of
Hmm.
those, and so on and so forth, right?
But like potentially seems. I I think could be worth it because we are making like a pretty expensive little search here, and the search is complicated. So
Yeah, but imagine that we had a giant mountain in the like that was like radius 10,
hmm
and you right clicked in the middle of that, right?
hmm
The only thing that would
yeah,
prevent you from searching infinitely is a max length at that point, because you're never
yes.
even going to reach the neighbors of the neighbors of the neighbors of the neighbors of
Oh
the
yeah,
tile.
I think the neighbors of the neighbors is the way to end this giant search earlier, but not. It still needs a length, and it's not like this thing is an infinite. You know, it shouldn't run away from the tank forever. Like I think we could maybe get longer with some heuristics to make it not feel
Yeah.
like not make it feel stuttery, but otherwise like yeah. Uh, I while we're doing this, it might be nice to make it actually look for destroyed tiles too. How's that? How do you feel about that?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
So instead of looking at the map, we just look at the entity manager for walls, right?
Yeah. Right. We were just searching walls. This is interesting actually. This has some potential. Uh, what did what did we do last week? Oh, the turrets. Was that the shooter system? No. Is it the turret
The turn.
system?
Yeah.
I was thinking that this, because really we only need the walls in this range, and that actually helps us out a lot instead of searching the whole map.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So it becomes a very similar problem, which is nice. Okay, I like that. Also, it means that the Pathfinder no longer needs to know about the map, which is good. This is great. We can have moving enemies. Yeah, dropping other entities makes sense. Okay.
I had another thought, which is I think our Pathfinder, does it extend outside of the map as well?
Absolutely. 100. Oh, great. I see what you're saying. Would it go around? If there was like a bunch of walls here, would it go around
Yeah, what
them?
happens if you click on the wall right now, or on the turret right now?
Nothing. We're out of range.
Yeah, yeah, okay. But it does actually, it probably is searching in negative space or like way above, like,
Oh
right?
yeah, I think there's no reason for it not to be.
Yeah. Because the neighbor
Okay.
list, we're adding, subtracting one from every dimension happily, right? We're not doing
Mhm.
any kind of like filtering based on, um,
That is correct.
yeah.
So I guess I did this. I depended on a cheat here, which is that we had a tile sorted array or tile indexed array of entities.
So one way we could do this is first we create a list of walls
Hmm.
and we stick that into a hash table, which is just an object whose
Hmm.
keys are like the stringified coordinates, right?
That's very cute, actually. Yeah.
And then what we do is like all the stuff on like line 94, line 95, line 96. We just we'll probably just pre-stringify it, right? Or something like that. We probably want it to be numbers, actual numbers, so that we can reason
Yeah. We
about them
only
as numbers, but then we stringify them when we look them up.
we only
And
got yeah, and they only get stringified really in this one place where we
exactly,
do
yeah.
X and Y. So
Yep.
that's cool.
And that's actually going to simplify the code a lot because we had to do this cute kind of like remapping into the space of one long array. It
Yeah.
was fast, but like, um, and we can actually still do that, right? You can have gappy arrays in JavaScript, so you can have an array that only has items 9
Mhm.
and 1,000, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Exactly. So let's see. That means
And it would probably be fast.
yeah. Oh, this is great. This is great. Don't need to change the map. The Pathfinder keeps working. This whole Pathfinder being constructed thing suddenly feels very silly. Uh, okay, great.
The Pathfinder has no meaningful state, right?
No, the nodes object that we get out is what we use to build our debug draw,
Oh, right.
and it's nice, but like also like whatever. We could find a way to store that somewhere else.
Yeah,
Really
or
wanted to.
yeah, you could return it from Discover, right? Like here's all the extra shit that you may need to know, you know.
Yep, yep. Okay, so let's go even stronger. Const pathfind.
Oh my god, yes.
Doing it.
And a return list of nodes and a vec2 as a tuple or something like that.
Yeah, and this needs the game. Because we need to get our entities out of this. It no longer needs the map. And I'm pretty sure I'm off by one entire code brace. And maybe a couple other things. Oh, a bunch of this is great. And an equals. Ah, stupid function syntax. Why you gotta do that? Huh?
It's terrible.
Really, really, really is.
When you look at, I was telling you how Jonathan Blow is designing his own programming language for games.
Is he really?
Yeah. And it was a big deal to him that the closure syntax and the function, like single line declaration with a name for a function, were composable from each other. So like, I'm trying to think of what he did assignment as like colon equals like Go, where the colon means you're declaring it and equals means you're assigning it. And I think it's just like foo colon equals like a closure. Oh yeah, but his closures doesn't have the fat arrow. His closures don't have fat arrow, and that actually would do it, right? Like if you got rid of fat arrow, then declaring a function on the same line is the same as if you like copied and pasted a closure that was somewhere and you wanted to assign it to a variable.
Yeah,
you would never change it.
That would be really nice.
Well, I mean, it's kind of what we're doing here, right? Like, in fact, like line 17 satisfies that requirement perfectly, right? Line 17 is that.
Yep.
Because closures look like that. It's just that methods inside classes don't follow this, right? Methods don't have the fat arrow on it, and maybe they should.
I really think they should.
It's just backwards compatibility issues, right? Like
yeah. Well, I've really enjoyed switching to React functional components because everything just comes out as the same exact syntax, and you don't have to worry about it, and it's like
totally
extremely portable.
Totally.
So yeah. Oh, object.values. And then let's see. So we want filter on other.wall. And this is actually great. Distance from to other transform position is less than max path length times tile size.
Oh,
that's our wall list.
Max path length times tile. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, it still sort of unpreferences diagonal, maybe a little bit. No, it just means you can walk less tiles diagonally.
That's
good.
Some degree of sense. Yeah, because you have to go further when you go diagonal.
You have to go further. Yeah. Right, faster but further. Whoa, go away, system preferences. Okay. So let's see, nodes. What are you grumpy about? Probably that. This had a nice definition before. Did it? What did I go? Let's go to GitHub. I forgot what this file was.
Yeah. Oh, nice. And we have vectopause. We have a thing that converts positions into
Yeah,
strings.
we already did it. Yeah. Oh no. What is vectopause here? Oh god, it's the exact function, isn't it? Delightful.
Yeah.
Ah, cool. Okay, so then let's see. These are our walls, but we actually want
We want
it
to
would be very.
reduce that into a
Is that what it is?
yeah.
Yeah. I always have to think about reduce every time.
Yeah. So the callback takes
Oh right, previous value we pass in as it takes an initial value, right? That's how this works.
yeah, and the previous value is going to be a empty curly bracket object.
Empty curly bracket. Yep.
Yeah, and I hate that it's the last argument. It looks terrible. It needs to be the first argument. That's a hill I would die on syntactically.
Wait, it is the first argument, right?
Uh,
Oh wait, reduce takes two arguments.
Reduce itself takes two arguments. Yeah, and the second argument is the initial value.
Ah, yep. Okay. Right.
Yeah. So it's comma. Yeah, there you go.
Totally, yeah.
And then reduce gets an entity. It's prev and entity. You don't need the index, I don't think.
Okay. I think that's true.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
And prev usually is called accum, ACCUM, or memo. That's generally the kind of like accepted nomenclature for them. Yeah, the accumulated value.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Accum vec2pos equals entity, and this is
entity dot transform exclamation point dot position, right? Something like that.
Right, but we actually need the tile pos from the position to turn it into our XY. So I'm pretty sure we have that in here as well.
I think TypeScript, they've been talking about adding a pipeline operator, which is really super cool.
Ooh, that would be neat.
Yeah. Have you worked with a language that does pipelines?
No, I don't think so.
So the idea is you can call a function and then put some sort of pipe character or pipe operator, and the return value of that function goes in as the first argument of the next function that you specify. So it's a good way of like not having to like put a bunch of nested function calls that kind of grow sideways in both directions.
That's currying, right? Is that currying?
It's a lot like currying, yes.
Yeah. Neat. Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Where do we grab this? What is our tile value? Oh, convert map. Oh, it's just
we
this?
have like a 2 tile pos, don't we? Something like that.
We must.
Math dot, or is it tile dot tile.ts or math.ts or
it's in one of tile math.ts. Tile chords. Yeah, thank you. 2 pos tile chords.
Wait, can I see that one more time? Tile chords. Can you switch over to that whenever you get the chance? Okay, great. This is not the one where we're like adding a half of a tile. That's the next one. That's line 22. Okay, great.
Ooh, do we need to? No. That's the reverse. Yeah.
Yeah, this one we're just flattening. We're flooring it. Yeah, which is good.
Okay. Do I need to return accumulator?
Yeah, the next line should be return accum. Yes, because you need to communicate it to the reduce function.
Oh gosh, does this need to be typed?
So do we do like space as? Is that how we do it? Like we do on line 32. We do like curly brackets, space as, and the type.
Key string to entity. You can't find type entity. Fine. Yeah, great. Okay. Cool. Oh.
I find reduce to be if line 32 and line 33 were any more complicated, I would not use reduce. I would just like do a for loop and then declare the.
Yep.
And if that's simpler for you to reason about, maybe we should just do that.
Nah, I got it. I'm just gonna stop doing operations in an assignment because that drives me crazy. That's fine.
Yeah, the reduce is nice when like the function that you pass in is like a one-liner, where it's like a cum plus the value that you're iterating over. That's like the classic example. It's like I want to add all the values in an array of numbers, right? And so what you do is you just return a cum plus the thing that you're currently looking at, and that's really nice.
Wow, it made a very interesting type out of that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's the type of these sort of like functional, like higher order functions are all horrible.
Okay, cool. So let's see. We're getting close already. This is great. Just remove a lot of thises. Remove a lot of thises. And then get neighbors. Really, the only thing it just needs to know the state of what we're working with.
It needs the walls, right?
Right. It needs our state. It needs our walls. So nodes is a. Do that in a second. And walls is a. Just did this. Key string to entity.
Yeah, I mean, it almost walls could be a key string to Boolean or something like that, or a set.
That's a great point.
That is interesting, isn't it?
Set? Oh, why would set work? Oh,
so right. All you're checking is for the existence of something in a list of walls, right?
Huh. Interesting. Yeah. Let's see.
Why does get neighbors need nodes at all?
Let's see. Let's look at that. Is it really just the current nodes? Oh, because we're updating score. If we find a shorter path to you, we go to nodes and we set a new score on the node.
This isn't get neighbors?
Yeah. Yeah, because we take our node, we look all around, and we say, have we seen this node? You update the score and you update the previous value.
Oh, okay. So that yeah. So you need to know, like, it's not a neighbor. It's not a new neighbor if it already exists.
Exactly. So nodes is our search space, which like we could name better.
Okay.
But it's important that it comes back, it like updates it. Otherwise it would just be inefficient.
I wonder. Okay, cool. Yeah. Do we only call get neighbors once?
We do, which I considered inlining it, and it just kind of drove me crazy.
Okay.
It's
just weird that we pass in nodes and nodes also gets written to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Let's worry about that later.
No, I agree with you.
But you know what I'm saying, right? Like
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. What the hell is P for?
P is.
We're just getting map position.
Yeah.
We don't need this at all.
Right.
Okay. Because really, none of this matters, because all we're saying is looking at walls. Right, and then we have to do our math here. Which is vec2 pos. Vec2 dot from values.
dxdy, yeah. Well, it's not dxdy.
Right.
It's p. But p is it's relative to the position that we're iterating over rather than relative to this .map.origin, right?
Mm-hmm. Does that work for? Is that how we built the wall list too? I guess so. What's tile chords doing? Yeah, actually, it doesn't matter anymore. Great. That's a lot easier.
Yeah, we're in tile space for this whole function, right?
So it just goes negative in one direction and it's fine. I love it.
Yeah, but what's the position that we're relative to? Do you remember what that was called?
Mm,
Chord. Is that what it is?
I think it's check chord. We get this. We get this check chord, and then we search for neighbors against it. So it's whatever we put in and get neighbors, which is
chord. Right. It's so P is relevant here on line 113.
Yeah.
But it should be vec2.add of dx dy. We're basically just adding dx dy to chord, and those are the neighbors, right?
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we're just checking. Oh, right. We have a lot of wall checks. Okay. Wait. So that means that P is just X and Y because we actually need to check. We need to check against variations on dx here for P.
Oh, okay. So I was wrong. Maybe if you align
P is unused. Yeah.
118 should basically just be vec2.add of vec2.create.
Yeah, always.
And our basis is chord.
Chord,
And then we're adding vec2.from values dx dy.
dx 0. We're
dx
not.
0.
We're
okay,
not.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yep. And then.
Oh man, I want to change this. This should map to. Sorry, where's that function? Don't need anything other than that.
Yeah, it's just a Boolean. Yeah,
it's just a bool. Love it.
And something that's like mapping values to a bool is a set.
It's a set. Yep. Yeah. I agree. So let's see. So this is 0 dy. And this is the diagonal, so both. Dx dy.
Nice.
Heck yeah. Okay. No more P. None of this. None of that. So let's see. Is it still angry at anything walls? Oh, because this is bool. Boy, that actually looks like it might work. What are you mad about? Probably crashed.
It just straight up dies.
Yeah. It gets mad when you just do. Oh, okay.
Is it still building?
It's. Oh, it's.
Or is it crashing before it can load?
I was gonna say it might have crashed a second ago. Ah, yeah. Great. Oh.
Okay.
Doy.
Classic.
I forgot an entire thing, which is this is a function now.
Yep. Yeah, because I remember thinking 10 minutes ago, what's going to happen to our debug draw, which is that we have to turn it off, right? We can't.
We don't get it. Yeah, that's okay.
No soup for you.
Let's see. This takes G. And love it. That's much better. Path find takes G. Oh, that was already an error. And then debug draw, we need to fix.
Totally fine.
Fix me. Hey.
Nice.
Okay, but here's the real test. Oh, that's not a real test at all. Let's do this.
And you path find to the destroyed. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, beautiful. That's cool. What I like to see.
That's really, really great.
I had no doubts.
I had some doubts. One doubt. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I really want to fix our collision stuff because I can go down through this, but not up, which is I can go neither
What's
through this
the right
now.
thing to do there? Because you need to be like perfectly aligned in order to be able to go through, right?
You do. I would expect.
Or it's impossible to go through because we consider it to be equal to the edge as being collided, right? And it's just impossible.
Yeah, it's interesting because our collider is narrower than a box, right?
It is.
So really,
Is
it
it
should
though?
be more.
We do tile collision for wall collider, right?
Uh,
I think our hitbox is being drawn right now, but not.
that's correct. Yeah. Perhaps if we switch everything to our improved line collision system, we can just like ignore it.
Yeah.
Because I would like to be able to drive through here, but also like whatever. Tile collision is probably correct. Okay.
I think slightly narrower than a tile might be the right solution here.
Like actually like a pixel or two. Yeah.
Because if you're off by a pixel two, the other way we do that is we kind of anticipate the situation, which if you can imagine, like is really hard to detect, right? Like how like it's like, oh, I think the player's trying to squeeze through
exactly
a corridor, which means you have to have a notion of what a narrow corridor is in code, and that just all sounds terrible, you know.
But that's just great.
It's amazing. It's golden.
I love it.
Yeah.
And if I path over here, oh, well, fuck me. What's it? Oh, damn it! Hang on.
Oh, did we break it?
I don't know. No, I'm confused.
That
is confusing. I agree.
We probably need to. I think we broke something in our pathfinding, right? Maybe we're not looking at any walls at all. Is the problem?
No, because it doesn't. It won't do this. I bet something is actually happening between maps here, which is annoying. Okay, so wait, hang on. Then I have to see it walk through the walls that don't exist on this map. Okay, acceptable. Well, hopefully I'll get an issue. Someone will fix it.
Okay.
Open source contributors welcome.
Give it to the junior programmers. They need the experience.
Yeah. Figure out what's wrong with my pathfinding code.
Yeah.
This is a really nice refactor. This feels great.
Good.
Oh yeah, we could actually. I feel like I can clean this up even more later. Sweet. Cool. Well, happy Friday, Jeff.
Yes, thank you. What are you doing? What are you doing this weekend?
My spouse and I are taking a trip to Napa. We're gonna socially distance somewhere else.
Are you Airbnb-ing?
Yeah, we found like a cottage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you gonna donate to your host?
I'm paying them.
Did you hear about that? Like.
Oh yeah, I did.
Airbnb has this feature now where you can donate to your host, your past hosts, which yeah.
Pay your landlord some extra rent.
There's so much about that bothers me, you know. I'm already paying my landlord. Like everybody else in the world is being deprived of their income, but I'm paying my landlord still, right? Or people are paying, like on the hook to pay their landlord.
Right? Yeah, we didn't cancel rent, so like, why should we double Airbnb?
Yeah.
Perverse incentives.
Yeah.
I will not be donating to any hosts.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
You're paying them for a service. It is a strictly business.
Exactly.
Oh, well, enjoy that. Napa's great. Drink some.
Thank you. Yeah.
Wine.
It's a bed and breakfast too, so maybe there'll be some outdoor dining. We'll see.
Oh, it's a bed, but it's socially distanced. It's like you have your own unit.
Yeah, exactly.
That they spray down with malathion before you go in or something.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out.
All right.
All right, cool. Thanks, dude.
Yes, take care.
Cheers.